Whew, man. Let me tell you something, man. I seen some shit in the streets. You know, survived 3 overdoses, Kensington, for years down there in the grime. But let me tell you something. I don't think I've seen people more fucked up than what Trump derangement syndrome is doing to like an entire youth. It is wild. Like, step back, people. Please, just tilt your head up and just look around. Like, you're letting your hate for one person drive your entire existence. And I get it because, like, listen, I was a lifelong Democrat too, okay? And I voted for the one before him, and I voted for this one. I usually have a sense of sort of how these things tend to go. But let me tell you what really set me off tonight was watching a woman speak about ICE, a young girl that looked college educated and, you know, just your pretty standard, I'd say 19-year-old girl, talking about shit that she has really no business talking about, giving opinions that really are opinions that you shouldn't be taking in on these things. And I get it. Listen, when I was young, I thought I was in charge of everything too. I thought that the only thing that really mattered was what my opinion was. That's got to be the right opinion. That's the only thing that counts. But I'm sorry, it's not. You are not the center of the universe. Everything does not go around you. Okay? It doesn't work that way. But you have to look at the facts here, people. 10.5 million people have entered this country illegally. After the borders were locked down and secure, the next guy came into office and made a decision to the point where they were suing states for putting up barbed wire. Suing states for putting up barbed wire, okay? So, what's the purpose of that? Well, it's proven that if you let all these people in, the majority of them are going to vote blue for the quote-unquote handout system anymore. Okay? That's not okay. All right? We're going to tone this down. We'll bring it back a little bit. It's not okay, people. Don't let your hate for one man cloud your entire judgment and existence on things that you should be standing for. Okay? There are things we can find on common ground. Like, I take this all the way back to, for me, like, this really started when your president gets into office and an entire side of the Congress, lobby, whatever, Senate, doesn't even stand up for this man, okay? Now, I don't know, but when I was a kid, you were taught to respect people of authority and show them some respect. But when your own leadership refuses to do that, that's going to create anarchy. And again, you're watching a ton of people suffering from derangement syndrome that were willing to do anything and everything. They were willing to do everything and anything to stop the man from getting into office because they don't want to be found out. Okay? Somali pirates, you know, they ride on those little boats and they're out to steal, rob, and everything they can from a tanker. We let them into our government, okay, and bared witness to 2019 tax return statement that said you made or maybe it was 18 into 19, you made about 45 grand in 1 year's time, you made $30 million, okay? There's something wrong there. That's not okay. Billions upon billions stolen, just recognized by one state so far. We haven't even gone there, and I couldn't imagine the can of worms that are going to open when we get to California. This is not okay, people. This can't be. We can find common ground and work on whatever all your little issues that you bundle up and you think that those are so important, all those tiny issues that you must fight for. Meanwhile, communist parties are infiltrating our grounds, stealing our farm, buying our farmland, and we're like, they were okaying that. They're doing this to try to be able to set up when they do strike whoever they want to strike, when they want to strike them, to be able to cut off all your communications to the world. Setting this up through satellites or whatever relays to the fact that you won't even be able to turn on your phone and find out information. Like, these are the things they're plotting deep and heavy underneath the ground here to come at us in every way possible. But instead, you're busy fighting about tiny, really small issues and turning them into cans of worms, or fighting for issues that yourself didn't even believe in a few months ago because your hate for one man drives you so hard. And what pushed me today to sort of speak on this was I have to start trying to reach people who may have found themselves in a situation like me where you have to say, oh my God, I don't align with where this party's at right now. I don't align with anything you guys are doing. This is wrong. Okay? It's like, we have to find out, but like listening to a 19-year-old college girl and the audacity that she has to, this is really for me, to include autistic people now in your personal fight against ICE, saying that the autistic community should be in fear. Like, okay, when you want to play a video game or something, like, I don't know about you, but like, I Google that topic, that video game, and find out from the people who are playing it what's going on. No, instead, you are just running your mouth blanketly about some topic because it came across your feed, and you are going to now try to use that to push your agenda. Like, okay, I am way more concerned as a father of a severely autistic child. I am way more concerned about the 10.5 million illegal people in this country who have records that are way longer than could roll out your front door and down your driveway, okay? Who have done horrible, horrendous stuff that are in this country. Now, it's pointed out in front of you. There's guys with massive displays and organization in Congress speaking on this, showing you this. But instead, no, you don't want to look at that. You want to hold up who your mortar and your God now because you got a lightning rod finally. I mean, let's be honest. We do know it was sooner or later. They made it a very long time without having an incident like that. But you're holding up this girl like she's the mortar, the best thing that ever happened to our cause. We will rise to you. Like, no, in the video, like, yeah, did the guy use excessive force? He did. And maybe he shouldn't be doing that job, but police officers that have made bad decisions, the book is endless on that. Okay. So they'll probably learn from it and try to do better as well. But I'm just saying, people, man, come on. Like, you can't let your hate drive your whole existence. It's not right what they're doing. They're robbing you. It's like somebody robbing your grandmother. And then you objecting to the law enforcement sent there that's really there to help her get back on her feet. No, you want to kick them out, get them out of here, and let the criminals stay here. Let the criminals stay in grandma's basement. You see how they take care of it for you. Just wrong, man. Come on. What's it going to take? What is it going to take for you to actually pick your head up and say, billions of dollars of fraud is wrong? If you want to come into this country, there's a due process for that. Let's go about it that way. And everybody, oh, you want to complain so much about this country, but yet you ask any one of them people and they want to come to this country. There's a reason for that, because we do have a great country. I had to watch some kid the other day literally steal my neighbor's little American flag. I made a video about that. Steal my neighbor's little American flag, throw it, rip it in half, and throw it on the ground, spit and laugh at it. That's the type of youth that we are raising, because our leaders are showing that's the example we set. No respect. Like, y'all ain't ever had an asshole boss that, he's a total douche and a flaming jerk off. But was he doing the right thing for the company? Probably for the most part, yes. He actually was concerned about the company and trying to do the right thing. And my point saying that is being like, it is okay to think your president is a jerk off I can't believe he did this, and the arrogance, and we all know he's a showboater and look at me, look at this, look at that guy. And we can all turn and say, no, he's a fucking jerk. He's a jerk off for that. Can you believe he's showboating that shit? But he is doing the job that is actually required instead of looking for, like, I don't know, a way to completely make sure the vote only goes one way. That's crazy. That's not what this country was founded upon. And I think Joe Biden in his right head probably wouldn't even made that choice. I was really shocked that that's how that turned out, because I did have respect for the Obama administration. And I think that's what a lot of us were leaning towards. And I know a lot of people hate him and have a lot of indifferences on that sort of thing. And listen, all we can do is move forward and try to do better. And you say this man causes all the hate? No, your hate for that man causes all this hate. Okay? Let that shit go. And let's focus on rebuilding America. Let's make him, okay, quote, make America beautiful again. Who gives a shit what his opinion is on it? Let's actually do the things we need to do to make America good again. Because that's what we need. That's what my son needs going forward in this world. Because let me tell you something right now. Would I rather have these criminals or not even criminals, just somebody who crossed the border illegally and is standing on my block for some reason? Or would I rather have an ICE agent who is actually just trying to do a job, man? I'd rather have the ICE agent who's trying to do a job, because I know that he's a guy like me who is just trying to take care of his family. And he was given a job or a chance at a job, but instead, no, you want to go and destroy his whole existence because he's just doing a job that he was tasked with. That's a hard fucking job. That is a hard job, man. And then not only on top of everything you got to deal with, now you got punk 19, 20-year-old kids spitting in your face, screaming and yelling because they think their existence is the most important thing in the world. Okay? It's not. And and then of course you got the Kensington situation. I mean, God, it's unbelievable. I was dead in them streets down there. 3 overdoses, died 3 times, and lived the life in the streets because I was against all law enforcement stuff, of course, because I was a criminal and a drug addict before I had my son. And, the streets down there, absolute chaos. I mean, I was a truck driver who drove cross country and was in every single state. And there wasn't a place in the world that I would mark the minutes and time until I got back to Philadelphia and Kensington area, because it is the world's biggest open air drug market, period. Let me cut my apple. So it is the biggest open air drug market in the world. And you have this woman standing up there saying, "Oh, ICE better not come here. ICE better not come mess with me. You're going to feel my thunder." Like, bitch, you've had over 30 years plus that I know to clean up that zombie land apocalypse down there. You've done nothing. You have people now that's beyond my generation that was in the streets in there. Because my generation, I luckily got out before we were walking around with open, woozing cesspus wounds all over the street. Your flesh is being eaten by something given to you by probably now Chinese infiltrating that drug to actually make it do that to you, because their whole thing is to destroy you. And the fact is that we have communist countries that are seriously coming at us in every way they can. And you're letting your hate for one man drive everything. That's not America, man. I'm sorry. It's sad. It's really sad. And I think a lot of it is just because you just can't admit that, maybe you were wrong. I got the same thing going on right now with my mother. She, I haven't been able to talk to my mom in quite some time. And that's mainly just due to the fact that, my mother's a stone cold narcissist. So, yeah, it's tough when you're dealing with somebody who has zero ability to ever say they're wrong, sorry, anything like that. But we got to do better, people. We have to be able to do better. It's just sad. It's sad to watch that like people lose all their respect for humanity. They just throw all their morals and everything right on out the window, like it's no problem. And of course, why is it? And you probably won't even admit it out loud, but really, what it is your hate for that one man. Best apples in the world right here. Is your hate for that one man. Like, that's what you're gonna let define you. Please, you can't. But instead, you're just wrapped up in that. So what's it gonna take? But I mean, the most disgusting thing for me though is to watch people who have zero skin in the game tell you how the game is being played. You know what I mean? Telling you about the game or a video game that they've never played in their fucking life and they've seen like a poster for it. That's who's telling you how you should play the game. You don't have to play the game that way. But if we don't start finding common ground and things to be on together, like listen, my girl is 8 years younger than me. So we are constantly at battle with these things. And the funny thing is, like, I know the guy she fell in love with was I was in my early 20s, radical wild boy partying that was against all law enforcement. And, I thought I knew everything, but that's the crazy wild guy that she fell in love with. But I do know right now that, like, we have tension about a lot of issues because she still leans very heavily towards the protesters' side, always, she always feels bad for somebody or is worried about somebody, and everybody's human. Like, yeah, I get that, but there's due process for all these things, and, but it helps me. It helps me because it keeps me in check too. Like, I do care. I care about what her opinion is. I care about what she wants, and I understand that. But it's my job to be the protector of the family. And a protector of the family doesn't let 10.5 million people at their front door. Okay? They don't allow that. They fence that off. They keep that away. They stand guard. So you can go back to doing whatever it is that you love to do safely and freely and, hopefully carefree. But in any case, man, we gotta do better. Wow, that apple is incredible. Shout out to H Mart. Best apples in the world. But just saying, check on yourself. Look up the Trump derangement syndrome and see if you meet the qualifications for it. Because I think that's what's driving you, man. We can do better.